I think it's time for a tool video. Alright, up first from Weha we got some small precision hex sets. And we'll just go through them real quick. This one's going to be metric, and you can see these are Allen style, or L key style as they call them. They're pretty small. So for the metric, we're going to get 0.7, 0.9, 1.3, 1.5, and 2. And this set right here, made in Germany, and the model number 35392. The other one that's just like it, but for inch, is where is this one made? Made in USA. It's going to be model 35393, and it comes with 0.028, 0.035, 0.05, 1/16, and 5/64. And going over here to the screwdriver set, which obviously when you're working with small little ones, it's easier to use these than it is the actual L style, but sometimes you need both. But this one is going to be an inch. We'll see what we got here. 0.028, 0.035, 0.05, 1/16, 5/64, 3/32, 7/64, all the way up to 1/8. And this one is model 26391, and it's made in Germany. So let's get them open. That's what they look like out of the packaging. As you can see, these are little guys. They're pretty tiny. Luckily they come with this nice little holder here. Has a hole in it too. I suppose you could hang them up if you want. But yeah, luckily it has that with the sizes labeled on there. If you just took these out and threw them in the toolbox, you may never find them again, especially these tiny little ones. These screwdrivers, that'd be a little harder to use. Just a little plastic handle here. They do have some flat sides right here for extra grip. Of course, you're not going to put too much torque on these little tips. It does have a rotating top there, so I suppose you could put it down, hold it with your fingertip to press down on it and turn it like that for fine tuning so that you don't damage these fasteners. But anyway, that's this little set. Let's see what else we got. Alright, up next we got a torque adapter set. Now this is from Laser. This is made to work on a 3/8 inch drive torque wrench, and it's metric, so it comes with 10 millimeter all the way up to 19. I believe this is manufactured overseas in the UK, but I couldn't find any info on it, so I'm not positive on that. But that's what they look like. We got this broken little plastic cover on there. This is like a little foam case. I suppose if you wanted to, you could just leave it right in there in your toolbox. Take one out. That's what they look like. They got the sizes stamped in there. Chrome vanadium is what they're made out of. But yeah, you just put this on the end of your torque wrench, and that allows you to get into tighter areas. You can see this right here is pretty thick, so it should grab on there and you can put a considerable amount of torque. These are 12 point. We'll grab a torque wrench right here. So we just put it on there like that, and that's basically how you use it. You can get in there and torque it down. Now we need to compensate for this because now we've extended our torque wrench. So I'm going to do a separate video on how you do that. I even made a custom little spreadsheet. And once you do your calculations, after that you just plug in the exact torque you want, and it'll compensate for your set. What's best is to get a set that is all the same length. So once you know your computations, plugging the torque and adapting to these is really easy. Now these are all the same length when you measure center to center. They're all the same. The actual length is a little different because of the size of, the opening right there, but center to center is exactly the same, and these are all 50 millimeter, or basically 2 inches. And that's what you want. You don't want these to be different length, because then you have to, compute that also every time you try to use these. So when they're all the same length, that makes it easy. And like I said, I'm going to do another video on that and how to figure that out. But these are great when you can't get the head of your torque wrench in there. Something's covering the end of that nut or bolt. But usually you can slip these in and you're able to do it. So especially good for critical fasteners where you really want to make sure you get that torque right. Anyway, let's see what's up next. Alright, up next from Gear Wrench, we got a 4-piece scraper set. This is going to be model 84080, made in Taiwan. Let's see what we got here. Comfortable grips, hardened steel blades, that's always good. The size is going to be 8" by 1/4, 8" by 1/2, 8" by 1, and it looks like 3 3/4 by 1 inch. So you get a decent variety there. Well, let's get them opened up. Alright, pulling them out of the packaging. They come in this very chintzy little plastic tray. You could probably keep that in your toolbox for about a week or so before it's destroyed, but anyway, that's how they come. But nice little tips on there, and it's nice to have the varying sizes. You just got to be careful when you're scraping. Whatever you're scraping, don't gouge it. You don't want to do more damage than good. But nice little set with different variations to help you out. And it has the nice grip handles, similar to their screwdrivers. If you've ever used the gear wrench screwdrivers, it's the same thing. Alright, let's see what's up next. Alright, up next we got kind of a specialty tool. This is going to be a fuel tank lock ring tool from Lyle. Part number 63000. You can see, removes plastic fuel tank lock rings 4" to 7 1/4. This thing expands and you can tighten that down. And what's nice is it'll get up and over a lot of the connections up on the top of the fuel tank. Or on the fuel tank pump, I should say. And yeah, it just grabs the sides, and there's a shot of a GM style where that little groove right there will get up on there, and it's able to loosen it once you put the appropriate socket on the end here. You can just use a ratchet, pop it loose. Now, I know many times I've just taken a screwdriver or something like that and just hit that and spun it loose like that, but you can damage these and break them off. That's typically what can happen if you're not careful, but it's nice to have the appropriate tool when you have enough room and clearance to get to it. Let me pop it out real quick. Alright, that's what she looks like. If we loosen this up, you can see we got quite a bit of adjustment on there. The only thing it says on there is not for impact use. They take all the fun out of it. What's the fun in that? Anyway, it doesn't say where it's made. Doesn't say it on here, and it doesn't say it on the packaging. Now, typically, when Lyle makes tools and they don't put where it's made, it's usually made in the USA, but we don't know for sure. So, hopefully it is. In any event, let's see what else we got. Alright, up next from Aries, we got a non-marring pick and pry bar set. So these are like a reinforced nylon pick and pry bar, model number 16003. I looked everywhere on this thing. I do not see where it was made, so I have no idea. But you get 6 of them, and they have a different tip on each end, so basically it's like getting 12 tools in one. And we can pop this open. You can see there's our set. That's nice. Very sharp. You gotta be careful with that. They seem pretty stout. Yeah, these are not flimsy. I definitely envision being able to pick at stuff where we don't want to damage it. Pulling an O-ring off or something like that, where we definitely don't want to damage that mating surface, or maybe you got to clean up something. And same thing, we don't want to mar it up or damage it. This is where you want to set like this. So these look like they're decent quality, and they should come in handy. Try to feature them in a video if I need them. And here from Mayhew, we got a belt molding removal tool. This is going to be part number 45049, and this removes the trim that's on the bottom of the window where your door is. Usually you have on the bottom of the door where the window rolls down, you got a piece of molding that goes across there, so it transitions from your window to your door. That piece of molding right there is your belt molding. And this from Mayhew, this was made in Taiwan. And yeah, they're showing you right there, there's the molding, and you're just able to reach in there and just pop it up. It has that little hook just like that reaches in there and grabs a lot of molding, or a lot of types of molding. Now usually you can find 2 or 3 or 4 different styles of this depending on what type of molding you're pulling out, but sometimes you can just grab it and pull it out. Sometimes you have to reach in there and disconnect the clips, but if you can get a tool like this in there and just make the job real easy, it's always nice. And Mayhew makes really good stuff. It even has a little striking cap on the end there. I'm not sure you're going to need that. Maybe, I guess. In any event, I like Mayhew, so I had no problem buying this. So let's see what else we got. Alright, now we have a cutout tool from Milwaukee. I have no idea what happened to the packaging. This is going to be model 2627-20. I believe it's made in China, but I'm not positive because I don't have the package. And let's see what else we got. Looks like we have the tool to loosen and tighten the nut there. We got a couple of bits. Now this I'm planning on using for drywall. I'm sure you could use it for other stuff, but I'm planning on being able to easily cut out drywall with this. It's an M18 tool, so it takes an M18 battery, so it'll have plenty of power. And this little collet right here that stops how far you plunge in, it's adjustable, which is kind of nice. That's how far our adjustment is right there. So you adjust how deep you want to go. Put your little bit in there and you can just zip around outlets or anything else you got to cut out. So I definitely plan on getting this all full of drywall dust, cutting some holes. So, alright, what's up next? And we got a channel lock tool. It really wouldn't be a Big Dog tool video without some kind of channel lock tools. I like channel lock, good quality, and they're made in the USA. So these are 7 and 7.5 inch end cutters, end cutting pliers, technically, model 357, and like I said, made in the USA. And let me get it out of the packing. And that's what they look like out of the packing. You can see the finish on there. And channel locks for the price, very good quality in my opinion. Could you get better like Snap-on or other tools? Yes, of course. But for the money, I really can't. I don't think you can beat channel lock for the money and the fact that they're made in USA. Alright, our next tool is from Amp Probe. This is an AC/DC low current clamp meter, model LH41A. Measures AC and DC current in the low milliamp range up to 40 amps. So that's what I got for low milliamp measuring. And where is our tool? Somewhere in here. And I should mention, this is made in China. But there's our tool right there. We just put it around the wire we're going to measure, and it will measure the current running through there. Because if you didn't know, when you run current through a wire, it creates a magnetic field around that wire. So this is measuring that magnetic field and telling you, it's just doing some math and converting it to what it believes is the current flowing through there, or the amperage. So that's how these things work. We just got to remember that clamp has to always be all the way closed. If it's open a little bit, it's not going to work properly. This one has a pretty decent hole to get around most cables. Typically where you're going to use this is around the positive or the negative battery terminal to see a parasitic draw, see how much current is being pulled off of there. That's where I plan on using this, and Honda actually recommends this tool just for that reason. So I'm definitely going to try to feature this in a video just for that. This one does take a 9-volt battery that we have to install, and then it works. But these are expensive, but they're good little tools, and it's nice because it gives you a digital readout right there. We don't have to plug it into another DVOM or multimeter to see, or to a scope. This is just a standalone unit. We can just clip it on, turn it on, zero it, and we're ready to go. We're reading. So it's quick and easy, and that's why I like it. And Amp Probe makes good stuff, so it's very, very accurate. Alright, how about another tool from Lyle? We got the old throttle depressor. This is part number 48700. Like I said, made by Lyle. And does it tell us anywhere where it was made? No, I don't think so. So hopefully it was made in the USA. I won't take it out, but you put the tip down at the end after you put it together, put the tip down in the end on your throttle, attach it to your steering wheel, and what's nice about this, you got the quick clamp here where we can slide it into position, and then we can fine tune it with the threads here. This is what I really bought it for, so that we can fine tune it, because a lot of pedals are very, very sensitive. On these newer systems that are drive-by-wire, they're super sensitive, and so it's nice to be able to fine-tune when you got to keep the engine at a certain exact RPM. This is the way to go. So definitely hoping to be able to put this into a repair video. Alright, from Mighty Vac, we got the old fluid extractor. This is the MVA6851. There's a good picture of it. Basically, we can just extract and dispense fluid, making it very, very convenient. This is made in Taiwan, and I'll be honest with you, I've already used it, so let me go grab it off the shelf. Alright, there it is. That's what it looks like. This flexible tube just has a quick connect right there, and you just push it into place and then it stays. And it does have this little cap that can slide up and down. You'd need it to do that because you put it into like a quart bottle or something. You need to get this thing out of the way, so you can slide it up like that. Just put it in your bottle or whatever you're gonna extract, and you can just pull it back and it'll extract. And it's really nice. This is a very good suction right here. It extracts it, and if you just hold it like that, it really doesn't drip. Now it'll drip a little bit, so you'll probably have to put your finger over there, but it doesn't just pour back out, which is nice. And it doesn't leak everywhere. I've had some where everything just leaks like a sieve, and this one doesn't. It's very well made. And to finish it, you can just press it right back out and dispense it wherever you need to go. Great for like differentials or stuff like that. And because I think it holds 6 or 7 ounces, so it doesn't hold a ton, but it's small and compact, so when you need to get into tight little areas, you can flex this and you're able to get it up in there. And you can just unscrew it like that, pop those out. You see it has 2 little O-rings on there that seal it. Easy to clean up, and you can put it back together, because I've already used this, and you clean it up real quick, screw it back together, put it on the shelf, and it's ready to go for the next time. Highly recommend this. It works very well. Alright, up next from Astro, we got the 13-inch nut and thread setting hand riveter kit. Part number or model number 1442, made in China, and this allows you to rivet in threaded inserts. So where you have a hole in that metal and we need some threads there, this is the job to do it. We can just rivet in a nice little threaded rivet, and boom, now you can thread that bolt right in there. Definitely comes in handy when you need something like that. Let's get it open. Alright, let's get it open. See, that's what we got. Looks like we got some instructions. Ain't nobody got time for that. These must be our mandrel and nose pieces that we install on, yeah, that we install on there. We install right on the top. Here's our main little unit. So it works just like a typical riveter, although you have to put the special nose pieces and mandrels in. And here's our little rib nuts or whatever. Maybe that's trademarked, I don't know. Let's get one open. You can, hopefully you can see, they're threaded in there, so it works on a similar principle of a rivet where you put it in there and it starts to crush the back so that it stays locked in place, and once you're finished, you got a nice set of threads inside there. And it comes with the most common sizes you're going to see on vehicles, so it's great for working on vehicles. Alright, up next from NOCO, this is the Genius 10. This is a battery charger and maintainer. It's a 6 and 12 volt 10 amp charger, and that's what the 10 is for, I believe. And let's see, what do we got here? Designed in the USA, made in Vietnam. And like I said, the model number is a Genius 10. So this will charge most of the batteries that we come across. Let's see, I think it lists it right here. Yeah. Lead acid, lithium, wet, gel, maintenance free, EFB, AGM, and calcium. So it'll charge just about anything you're going to come across, most likely on a vehicle. And what's nice is it also has the capability to repair the battery too, in case it's damaged and been depleted so low that, you know, many regular battery chargers are not going to be able to bring it back to life, but this may be able to. This is what you get, the unit right there, and you get the cables to attach to the battery. Now I admit, I've already been using this, and I liked it so much I bought the extension that goes in between these two to extend it out 10 more feet, so I can stretch it way across the garage. Great, I love it. This is the GC004. This is made in China. So let me go actually grab the unit, seeing as I've been using it. Alright, there's the unit. That's what it looks like. Comes with this little strap and clamp on the bottom. So if you needed to like lock it down some way, you could. There's our cord. We just plug it into just our standard outlet here in the US. And this is how long of it normally comes with. Just to right there. And then that would plug in here and go right to our clamps. And that's where I have this 10-footer installed in between. and it makes it nice being able to just stretch it. It doesn't matter where that battery is. In fact, I have some footage. I'll show some footage right now of how I have it connected, and you can see how it works. And here's the charger in action. I'm actually charging a battery right now, and it's actually fully charged now. But I'm really liking this added extension. It doesn't matter where the vehicle is in the garage, where the battery is situated, or where my plug is. I can get this thing anywhere in the garage. Really liking it. Very happy with it so far. I've charged a couple vehicles with this thing, and it's worked really well. Alright, hopefully that footage came out. But I've charged several batteries with this thing. It works great. Now, being 10 amp, it's not going to do it in an hour or anything like the really big units, but look how small this is. It doesn't get hot, and it's been very reliable so far. What I like is that it remembers your last setting. So if you're just doing regular flooded lead acid batteries and 12 volt, the next time you do the next battery, it goes right to that. And it'll wait a second so you can change it if you need to, and then if you don't, boom, it just starts going to town. And it has 4 little lights right here that'll start to come on, and that tells you 25, 50, 75, or 100%. It also has a 12 volt supply right here, which is nice. If you're working on a vehicle, doing some testing or whatever, and you're using the battery, that you can plug this in and just put it to 12 volt maintain, and it'll give you 12.6 volts on that vehicle, so you won't deplete the battery. That's really nice. Now it only goes to 10 amps, so you're not going to want to run the blower motor and the defrost and the high beams and things like that. You're going to overload it. That would be too much. But for little things like doing evap leaks and testing like that, or testing some solenoids or windows on the vehicle, this would be great so that you're not depleting the battery. But for charging, this thing has been great. I really like it. Been very reliable, and it charges the batteries no problem. Everything I've thrown at it. And it's got nice heavy duty clamps that open nice and wide. I hate it when you get clamps and they only open like that much. These open nice and wide and basically will get around any battery terminal you come across, or most of them for the most part. And they're replaceable too, so you could pull these off and replace it. And they're all good quality copper in there, if you can see that, on both sides. Some of the cheaper ones are only have it on one side. So very good quality, very happy with this thing. Alright, that's it for this tool video, and as always, if it helped you out, you liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.